Hey, what's up, guys? It's your friendly neighborhood Yu-Gi-Oh superhero, Ben 2000 Wajo, and you guys are probably wondering why you're staring at the thumbnail for this video, and the reason why is because, to be frank, guys, your friendly neighborhood Yu-Gi-Oh superhero looks like butt. Just absolute awful butt. I've spent about the last 24 hours making this video. I'm exhausted. The truth is, this was not an easy deck to build, and I am also trying to be quiet. There are other people trying to sleep, although I don't know how much longer they'll be asleep with that squawking bird. Golly. I hate animals. Anyway, if you're new here, this is how we do things here on the Ben 2000 YGO channel. We have this little conversation here at the front. Then we're going to go into some replay duels, and then at the end we will have the deck profile, and I will go over combos and, talk about the strengths and weaknesses of the deck itself, etc. So without further ado, before I get out of here, just a reminder, guys, make sure you check below. Usually in these little videos, I put a time code so you can skip straight to the deck profile. So without further ado, let's go check out some replays. See you on the flip side. there you have it, guys. This is my Danger Lightsworn deck. I know it looks a little bit weird, but bear with me, guys. This is the most functional Lightsworn deck that I can come up with, and as you guys probably saw, it went through a few iterations. The core was kind of the same until we got to this point. This is the way this is built is basically meant for primary consistency. The truth is, also this deck you really want to go first. If you go second, you probably are going to lose, because the truth is you have to get that set up. Now the good news is this deck is very consistent. You can throw out its negation or its floating, or or various other things out really easily. Like, actually, funny enough, we actually have two routes to get to the main play we want. So we have Curios and we have Rusty Bardique here. We have both of them, and they both will send a card to the graveyard that we need there. So, Rusty will send us the Silent Boots, get us a Fog Blades. We'll have two Fog Blades, or a Shade Brigandine and a Fog Blade, either or. And then, of course, the Curios we set up, we probably have some, we got a lot of mills. Could send a Phantom Knight, a Silent Boots that we need to if we want. Or we could send, like, Fellis, Wolf, Destrudo, whatever you want, over any other level 1 tuners. This is my little personal tech here, is, Big Daddy Mars here. So I've got, I figured, yeah, you know what, I already got one War God in here. What's one more, So, and think of Mars kind of as your Fairy Tale Snow replacement. This card, it's the last summon you can make in the turn, because once you summon it, you're not allowed to special summon anymore. That's bad news. The good news is it's 26 beat stick, and if you have to, you can activate its effect and send all the other monsters you control to the graveyard and inflict 500 damage for each one. So he's kind of a game ender. So you attack, or if you were, like, for example, if you were taking this to a tournament, you were in time, you could activate its effect to do burn and then stall. You got Omega and Blazing Mars. You could do a combo somewhere along the lines with that. It's pretty self-explanatory. We've got all our play starters in here with Dark Refer, Armageddon Knight, and obviously the Dangers. Because the deck is 50-50, I'm playing Allure and Solar Recharge, and I'm playing more Allure, because I believe that Lila here sets off the even. Excuse me, guys. Like I said, I'm exhausted, I'm tired, I've got a squawking bird, and I look like butt, so excuse me if I yawn a little bit. Another really cool thing in here is, like, Link Karibo is maybe because we're playing the level 1s with Jet Synchron and Glow Bulb, we basically can go into Rusty Bardiche or Curios with Link Karibo, finishing out the light or the darks, whatever we need. The other thing that's really cool is Skull Dread. I also was able to go into that. Basically, turn 1 is go for Curios, Rusty Bardiche, or Skull Dread. It doesn't really matter which one you go for. They all have their pluses and minuses. It's just based off what you draw and what gets sent to the graveyard. I did, however, do a really big change. You guys know for a long time I've been playing Hot Red Dragon Archfiend Abyss in my Lightsworn deck. So this time around I am playing Crystal Wing Synchro Dragon in my Lightsworn deck. The reason why is because the way this deck is built, between the Fog Blades and, usually like a Dawn Dragster or a Crystal Wing, I have plenty of negation. I also have, like, Deco Talker in here as another cheap negator. Really, you have all the negation you need. You have a lot of disruption still, with Rise to Full Height and Omega, and also you have things like where we can play Link Karibo. That just allows us to, we have plenty of disruption. We also can make our opponent float. We can make our opponent and force them to attack things they don't want to with Rise. So, that's why we've got Minerva in here. Obviously, she's a floater, and so is Curios. The other cool thing is we're playing Dante in here because we are playing a small Phantom Knight engine. So we are playing Ancient Cloak. Ancient Cloak gets us to Silent Boots. Silent Boots gets us to Brigadine or Fogblade. In some cases, you know, we might end up like drawing one of them or have one in the graveyard. You know, like as you guys know, with milling, it could happen. Like at one point, I found myself bringing back Ancient Cloak because I had actually milled the Silent Boots earlier in the game, so I didn't need to use his ability. So I just brought him back with a Fogblade I had already used and had Illumina and made Dante. How cool is that? And Dante was like another Minerva, only with a little bit bigger stats. So, and this deck actually can play both, so that's really cool. We got the Nightmares I'm playing are Cerberus and Phoenix. Excuse me, guys. There are a few times there you saw me playing Tornado Dragon. Tornado Dragon was really useful. It really was, but I think that Nightmare Phoenix is just easier to summon overall because my levels are a little all over the place. Like, yes, I play a lot of level 4s, as you can see, but since I also play a lot of synchros and I have a lot of weird tuners and I just have a lot of weird levels in this deck, and it's not consistent to go with synchros. So I don't always have a tuner, or Exceeds. I don't always have the same levels, so going for link plays seemed to be the best option. So I've got the Nightmares in here to get rid of problem cards. Obviously, Underclock Taker helps facilitate OTKs. So does actually, you know, Skull Dread. A lot of people don't take into account that extra 300 points for every monster he points to. I mean, literally, in one of the games I couldn't get a recording of, I was up against a Lunalight deck, and he went first. He put out his negation. He went in for the Azathoth play. I basically made Omega and had Rise in the graveyard, so I stalled out, and then on his turn, I just, you know, bounce blink, you know, did the whole Omega Rise combo. So he never got a chance to swing at me, and then I just kind of built my board little by little because he never got a chance to swing. And then, you know, at one point I ended up getting a Skull Dread out, and then I had more than enough damage to take the game. So you guys can play around with this and make it your own. This is just based off of the cards I own and what I have. You know, I actually came into a possession of some new cards thanks to a buddy of mine. So this is a little shout out to him before we get out of here. Thank you to my best pal in the real world who he decided he didn't want to play Yu-Gi-Oh anymore, so he gave me his collection. And it has, I think, because of him, I now have a functioning Lightsworn deck that I can play with. So I just want to say thank you to him. If he should ever watch this. Anyway, guys, I'm Ben2000YGO. I'm hoping that the next video you guys see me in, I will be much more lively. I will be feeling better and not look like butt. So make sure you, you know, wish me well and hit that lovely subscribe button and give a like on this video and put your card suggestions in the comments below. And I'll see you guys next time. Peace.